What's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Chris the Down One, and I am back with another video. You know what you gotta do: rate, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll know when my next live stream or video goes down. You'll be always in a loop. All right. So without further ado, let's get things started. Before I begin, I'd like to apologize for the lighting. It's 4:20 in the morning. Obviously, it's still pitch black dark out here. I apologize for that. I don't want to turn on my light while driving, okay? I apologize for that. Sorry for the inconvenience. But you didn't came here, you didn't watch this live, and the reason why I'm doing this live stream is a lot quicker to do a live stream, let it upload, because I have a busy morning. I'm on my way to the gym, and then later on, go to work, okay? So let's get into today's topic. And Cris Carter is no longer a member of Fox Sports 1. Now, before we begin what transpired between Cris Carter, if you want a full briefing on what took place between Cris Carter and the upper management at Fox Sports 1, I suggest to you watch my latest video. The comment section, a lot of you guys, I gotta reply to a lot of guys in the comment section, okay? So, before I even get into that, I first like to state this. I noticed a lot of the larger YouTube content providers are now making live streams and videos about Cris Carter and the situation surrounding Cris Carter. Now, I'm not going to say any names. I'm not trying to start no beefs. But there was one major YouTuber who did a live stream yesterday talking about he was the first. And he laid out what transpired between Cris Carter and Fox Sports 1, which I already made that video, bro, 3 days ago. So everything you said in that live stream, it was almost like you watched my live stream and then you proceeded to do, you watched my video, then you proceeded to do a live stream yesterday. He also talked about Cris Carter's personal life, about Cris Carter is divorced from his first wife, which everyone knew that. He's married to another. He's married to another female, a Caucasian woman. Everyone knew that, and the road is rocky with the second marriage, and and things are not looking good for Cris Carter as far as being a married man, which we all knew that. Then you proceeded to talk about Cris Carter's anguish that his son is not in the NFL, and he believes that the NFL didn't give his son a fair shake. We all knew that his son played in Canadian football. We all knew that. Okay, so you said a lot of things in your live stream yesterday, a lot of stories which are 100% true, but they don't have anything to do with why Cris Carter is no longer with Fox Sports 1. Okay? Sounded entertaining. You added a lot of minutes to your live stream, but like I said, about 15 minutes of your live stream, it was stuff that had nothing to do with Cris Carter being out at Fox Sports 1. All right? So, yes, Cris Carter is fired. First of all, he was suspended. He wasn't happy with the suspension, and then got into it with upper management, and now he got shown the door. He's got a banana box full of his personal items. First they said they was going to send it to him. He was firm and stern, talking about, no, I want to go get my stuff. So Cris Carter proceeded to, with security, go to his office, get his things, and leave. Okay, so if anyone wants to know what happened, a real quick summary. If you guys don't want to watch my video from 3 days ago when I explained this, basically it went down like this. Cris Carter had a handshake agreement with Fox Sports 1 as far as doing Thursday Night Football if it takes place in New York. First things first, that show is in New York, and he had a handshake agreement, a possibility that he could host one of those NFL football games. Fox decided to fly in Tony Gonzalez and I forgot his name, Rob Gronkowski, and allow those guys to do the Thursday night football. Cris Carter got wind to that. He did not like that decision, and he went on a tirade. Okay, now everybody knows Cris Carter has a short fuse. This has been demonstrated and documented from ESPN. This is one of the reasons why ESPN did not want Cris Carter. Okay, and like I said in my video 3 days ago, when Cris Carter was at ESPN had no problem letting go of Cris Carter, because at the end of the day, and at that particular time, they had a lot of talent, and they still have some talent, but not to the degree what they had 5 or 6 years ago. But they still got some decent talent over there. And Cris Carter is when he worked at ESPN had no problem of letting him go. Now Cris Carter winds up on Fox. He gets a better deal from Fox compared to his previous deal at ESPN. They allowed him to host first when he got on Fox. It was him and Nick Wright. A lot of people want to call him Nick Wrong, and they would normally do Undisputed, which I will say on your video, sir, I failed to mention that. Okay, so if you want credit for what I'm about to say, then you deserve it. But I do recall Cris Carter and Nick Wright hosting Undisputed when Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless goes on their vacations. Okay, so they had great chemistry, and the current management at the time decided to give Cris Carter his own show with Nick Wright, and it's called First Things First, and that's the first show in the morning before that's the first show that airs, and then Undisputed, and then The Herd. Okay, so I think that show premiered in 2016, and during that time, during that brief journey, Cris Carter has said a lot of things on that show, and I think that show got him a little too big-headed. I think his ego, inflated. And Cris Carter said a lot of things on that show that a lot of former and current players had an issue with. Okay, he did not support the Colin Kaepernick move. Odell Beckham Jr. He was on Odell Beckham Jr.'s neck. He was on Terrell Owens' neck. I could probably do this. Yeah. He was on Odell Beckham Jr.'s neck. Well, I better not do that. And then some other things. He also made comments at Jenna Wolfe. And Jenna Wolfe didn't pay it no mind. But Fox looked at it with the SJW movement. They looked at it as it could be a possibility where there could be some problems down the road. He also cursed on First Thing First on live television, and he did that with ESPN. That's Cris Carter has some colorful language when he's very emotional and he's very passionate. Okay, this is not a black man's trait. All right, This is all men. I have seen all men in all nationalities from different backgrounds, from different religious aspects, demonstrate this type of behavior. When they're passionate about something, you see their emotion, okay, about it. If they're for or against it, all right, and that's who Cris Carter is, and that's one of the reasons why ESPN had no problem of just letting Cris Carter walk, okay, because Cris Carter is a brand, he's a name, he used to be an NFL receiver, but at the end of the day, is it worth signing him to a bigger contract, a longer contract, knowing that you got this and it's well documented of things he said on ESPN, okay? Is it worth the trouble? That's basically what ESPN looked at it, and they decided no, it's not worth the trouble. So Fox took him, and remember how a lot of people talked about how, oh well, over at Fox Sports 1, Colin Cowherd, Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp, Cris Carter, all these vocal personalities can speak their mind. They can speak their piece, okay? They're not going to be tied down to the machine, okay? Because Disney owned ESPN, and they wanted the ESPN to be a family show. And, they have gotten rid of the personalities that, had colorful language, that talked about politics, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying if you want those corporate dollars and if you want to continue to make billions, then, those type of people, I mean, if you have people like that in your workforce, a lot of corporations are not going to do exclusive deals with you. That's the whole point of them letting go of those personalities. It's not the fact that they were not talented. Jamel Hill and Cris Carter, and I think the only one that's very vocal is Stephen A. Smith, but Stephen A. Smith has toned it back several levels, okay? He's not the same Stephen A. Smith that we all grew in love 7 or 8 years ago, okay? So, that's what ESPN was looking at. They were looking at, yeah, these guys are talented, but when it comes to us getting in trouble for what they might say or what they may endorse, and then they got very religious and very political. This is a family show. This is about sports entertainment, and they sever their ties with those personalities. And remember how a lot of people kept saying, "Oh wow, Cris Carter. I'm glad Fox got Cris Carter, Colin Cowherd, Shannon Sharp, Rob Parker, Chris Broussard. These people have an edge to them. They speak their mind. They speak their piece. Remember how everyone was talking about that, all right? And now, if you look at Fox, now Fox they gotten rid of a lot of the older management that signed a lot of those personalities, okay? Because over the summer, he got caught up in a sexual assault situation, so Fox had no choice but to let him go. And that's the guy who revolutionized ESPN. I think his name is Murdoch. And he revolutionized ESPN, got those shows on and popping, got the personalities, things of that nature. And he was the key component in landing Skip Bayless, in landing Colin Cowherd. And once they got those two guys in the building, those two guys got Rob Parker, spoke up about Fox signing Rob Parker and Cris Carter, and as well as others, and Shannon Sharp. All right, now everybody was talking about how Fox is going to be different from ESPN. Since Fox Sports 1 has been competing with ESPN, they also been competing at those same advertisers ESPN used to be exclusive to. So those advertisers, those corporations, they have a higher standard, and they don't want their product, they don't want their name tied to Fox Sports 1 if you got a bunch of people that speak their mind. They're very passionate and they speak about politics. They speak about everything political on social media, and they just want they just want to sell their product at the end of the day. They don't want to be tied into no drama. They don't want to be tied into any controversy. Okay, so ever since they fired Murdoch, Fox Sports 1 has pretty much scaled back some, sort of like ESPN. You know, when the last time you heard Shannon Sharp said anything controversial recently in the last year? Nothing. Same thing goes with Rob Parker. The only person that said something somewhat controversial, they just got rid of him, Cris Carter. All right, Chris Broussard, who was he's heavily passionate about his religious background. When is the last time you heard Chris Broussard say anything religious or about his religious background? Okay, no. Now since Fox is competing with the same type of dollars from a lot of these advertisers, a lot of these corporations, a lot of these leagues, Fox want to be like ESPN. ESPN has the right to televise the NBA, and they paid handsomely for it. ESPN has the rights to the SEC. They paid handsomely for it. I think football is divvied out. Football, the NFL is not exclusively to one league, but Fox get the Thursday night, okay, and they also get the coverage, the pregame, and also Sunday, and ESPN gets Monday night, okay, as well as Sunday night, okay. So the NFL pretty much divvy out different packages to all of the sports broadcasters, okay. So no one has the rights to an exclusive deal. Just recently, the UFC, who was once exclusively tied to Fox Sports 1, now ESPN has those rights, okay, as well as the boxing, okay. So ESPN's pie, when they got rid of all these personalities and their ratings dropped a little bit, a lot of people said, well, that's because of Fox Sports 1. They finally got competition. Well, if Fox Sports 1 is ESPN competition, how come ESPN continues to get those deals and continue to get the better talent? Fox sees this, okay? So now they want to be like ESPN. And the only way you're going to be like ESPN and get that type of money, I got to turn the light on, man. I'm not going to waste my battery. The only way you're going to get that money is you're going to have to be like Fox. I mean, you're going to have to be like ESPN. So that's what's, even though what I just said 10 minutes ago really has nothing to do with why Cris Carter is no longer working for Fox. Cris Carter no longer works for Fox because Cris Carter thought he was drinking his Kool-Aid, sort of say. He was believing the hype. He was saying to himself, I got my own show. I'm Cris Carter. I'm some goddamn body. And you're not going to do a Thursday night game in New York City with Tony Gonzalez that you pretty much have to. He lives in L.A. You pretty much have to fly him to New York. And Rob Gronkowski, who hasn't had any experience as an analyst, okay, you're not going to have them there and not me, okay? But when they signed Cris Carter seemed to fail to realize when Fox signed him, that was the old regime. The old regime, Murdoch and their team signed Cris Carter. And if you want to be real technical about it, Skip Bayless recommended Cris Carter. Okay, that's the only reason why Cris Carter is what was at Fox Sports 1. Skip Bayless recommended him, and Rupert Murdoch signed him to Fox. I feel like he overachieved, to be completely honest with you. I feel like for him to get his own morning show Okay, and the possibility of hosting a Thursday night game, Cris Carter was overachieving. To be completely honest with you, because he wasn't getting a deal like he would never be able to get a deal like that at CBS, the NFL Network, or even ESPN. Okay, I feel like Cris Carter is a great analyst for like NFL stuff, for NFL news and NFL games. I don't have no issues with Cris Carter on that. And when he was doing First Thing First, he was really into a lot of other things outside of football. He had a great eye and a great analysis for other things like baseball, basketball. Okay, you started seeing the things that you started seeing a lot of stuff out of Cris Carter. You like, damn, Cris Carter know about basketball. He knows about baseball. Okay, UFC, boxing. He was starting to become a star at Fox. All right, and all of that is gone in a matter of that, like that. All because you're at the end of the day, like I said in my video, you have to respect your boss. You have to respect your boss, and you also have to respect your boss's decision. You may agree to disagree with a decision, but at the end of the day, you still have to respect your boss, because guess what? You have a boss. Okay? No one is not big enough in this world where they can say, I don't have a boss. And it damn sure ain't gonna be Cris Carter. Okay? Now, what I said in my video, first of all, I thought it was never going to reach this conclusion. I thought that Cris Carter was going to be suspended for the week and then come back to Fox, but he would be on his last strike, and he would have to be very careful on how he perceives going forward. Okay? And that was going to totally change how he talk and say things on First Thing First. He can't talk with an edge. You can't talk with an edge on your last strike when you're like one strike away from being shown the door. I felt like that was, he would have probably been like Stephen A. Smith. Remember when Stephen A. Smith got in trouble with what he said about when him and a Bill, I forgot that girl name, that white girl. I forgot her name. Bill. Anyway, he got into it about the Ray Rice thing, and he got into some major trouble with upper management at ESPN. Well, after that, and he got suspended, you saw a change in Stephen A. Smith. He wasn't aggressive like he used to be. He was sort of pick he was sort of pick what he's passionate about, what he's not passionate about. He was sort of pick how he can go over the top and then scale it back some. And I just don't think Cris Carter has that type of mindset. He's 110% going that way. And he's not going to scale it back. He's not going to pick his he's not going to pick his positions. He's 110% all the way, okay? So, Cris Carter, I don't want to see anybody get fired, but I was hoping that, maybe if Cris Carter can talk to management, and I felt, and after reading a lot of footage, that was not Cris Carter MO. He was not going to try to speak to upper management to make it to apologize. I felt like it would have been a lot better for Cris Carter if he would immediately apologized on social media when they was in their deliberation stages of what they was going to do with Cris Carter. And at that particular time, they were all pretty much in agreement of firing Cris Carter. I felt like if Cris Carter would have went on social media, made an official apology, tried to contact upper management and apologize to them personally or over the phone, I felt like, maybe there would have been a possibility he could have kept his job. But if he would have kept his job, they would let him know, hey, look here, you're like one strike away from, being fired. okay? And just letting him know. All right. So, Cris Carter, I mean, to me personally, he has said a lot of things. This guy who this big time YouTuber took a page. He took what I said off of my video and applied it to his live stream, saying, well, Cris Carter has a way of talking down to people, like the T.O.s, the Chados, Ocho Cincos, the OBJs, the Antonio Brown, even though Antonio Brown is some of his problems, well, most of his problems are self-inflicted. It's kind of funny, the choice of words he used. It's almost like he saw my video. And I appreciate that, but I wish I would have gotten props, but, it is what it is. I remember doing a video, and I forgot the video, what it was about. And I researched it. I reached out and talked to people, and I got my information. I did my video, and a week later, another top YouTuber, I'm not gonna say anybody's name, pretty much, I think it was the Lil Wayne controversy, pretty much verbatim said everything what I said in my video. It's like he almost watched my video and then he copied and pasted what I said and applied it to his own video. But when you got a huge following, you got a large subscriber base, you do crazy views, okay? Even though I'm at 200K, 200K ain't nothing to sneeze at, but it's not nowhere near what these guys are doing. You get to say and do what you want. Those are the reaps of the rewards. Okay, so to say. So, say all that to say this. Cris Carter is fired, and hey, I hate for it to happen, but it is what it is. Okay, so I apologize for the lighting. You can still hear me. Okay, but I wasn't gonna turn my light on and drive down the street. I'm just not gonna do that. I'm not gonna waste my battery, for a live stream. And I kind of want to hurry up and do this now. Now I'm at the gym and I want to run in here and get this workout on, and then go home, shower, and then eat some breakfast, and then go to work. I apologize for the, you couldn't see me through the video, but you can still hear me, okay? So, guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy. I'm up out of here. Deuces.